Now we'll go through a brief explanation of how to use the eccentric tool. The eccentric tool is this small blade of plastic with several holes in it. This is included with your Quiltazoid. This is used for making circle medallions and arcs and so on and so forth. The first thing that we need to do is, just like we did with circles, we need to find the center of our quilt block. So we'll use our centering template, find the center of the quilt block. We'll lower the needle into the quilt to hold the sewing head in place. Next, we'll position the Quiltazoid base so that the stylus pin drops into the center hole, and we'll lock the toggle clamp in place. Then, while we're still in that center bolt, we'll lock down the knobs on the stylus arm. Now the Quiltazoid is centered on the quilt block, and we can raise the needle back out of the fabric. Now for this example, we're going to make a simple 8-lobed spirograph type design using the eccentric tool. And the instructions are in your owner's manual that make this all pretty simple. But for instance, say we want to make a design that's an overall diameter of 6 inches in that block. So what we'll do is we'll take that 6 inches and divide by 2 to give us 3. We're going to locate the screw on the eccentric tool in this threaded hole number 3. We'll screw that in. So that the eccentric tool will spin around on the base plate. The next thing that's important to understand when making eccentric designs is the base plate of the Quiltazoid can be locked in position. And you'll use this function when you're making eccentric designs or when you're using tracing templates. To lock the base plate in position, we'll simply slide this base lock into one of the notches around the perimeter of the base plate, and then we'll slightly tighten this knob so that we have no side-to-side movement on that base plate. For the eccentric design that we're going to make now, we'll simply lower the stylus pin into the hole in the eccentric blade that is directly over the center hole of the base plate. We'll lift the stylus arm slightly to exert a little downward pressure. We'll turn on the sewing machine. We'll rotate the eccentric tool until we come right back to the start. Then we'll unlock the rotation lock. We'll rotate 4 notches, re-engage, and stitch again. We'll rotate 4 more notches and stitch again. And we'll continue this process 8 times. Now you can see that we've created a design that is centered on our quilt block. The overall design is centered in the quilt block, and yet every circle is off center from the center of the block. That's why we call it eccentrics. This is just one of many designs that you can do with just using your imagination with the eccentric tool.